Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we're going to be looking at another non-GX Ultra Beast that is going to be coming out in Sun and Moon 5 Plus in Japan. Now, I've said in my recent videos, this means it's probably coming out in Sun and Moon 6 in the US, Europe, etc. That is our May set, not Ultra Prism, which is our February set. But honestly, we don't actually know, so prediction, but don't read too much into it. The reason I'm excited, it's the best Ultra Beast, and I am willing to plant my flag on that one. It's Xurkitree. And, come on, we're rolling up to Christmas here. Is there a Christmassier Ultra Beast than Xurkitree? I mean, clearly no, it's basically like a big Christmas tree. That's why he's my boy. It's not, but it's one of many reasons. We've already had Xurkitree GX. Interesting card. Never seen a huge amount of play. I mean, it's only been legal for a couple of months, but in those couple of months, it's not seen very much play. Lightning GX, really interesting GX attack that allows you to pop an extra prize card down from your opponent's hand, and an ability which stops attacks from Pokemon with special energy attached. It's not seen a huge amount of play. Could this non-GX be the one that puts Xurkitree into the player base's collective consciousness? Well, first thing to point out, 120 HP. Now, like I've said in a couple of recent videos, this is bad. Things like Silvally and Golisopod hit 120 very easily. A lot of Pokemon have 130 to avoid this happening, but Xurkitree does not. This is a bad thing. Similarly bad, the weakness to fighting. We've got stuff like Gallade at the moment, but really, the huge downside here is Buzzwole GX. Buzzwole GX just does damage with Jet Punch so easily. I mean, when you add in weakness with a single strong energy, it becomes 100 damage for a single energy. Then with a Fighting Fury bout, it becomes 120 for a single energy. And oh look, it's already KO'd. Like a 1 energy KO on a Buzzwole GX. So, not loving the HP, not loving the weakness. Oh yeah, and if it had 130 HP, it could take a hit from a Buzzwole with a strong energy and a Fighting Fury belt. Good news is we do have a resistance to metal here, which is nice because Registeel is seeing a fair bit of play, and retreat cost of 1 is very nice, especially given that the main attack we're going to be using most of the time here is for a single energy. Speaking of which, our translations come from the lovely David Hockman himself, and this first attack for 1 lightning energy does 20 damage plus confusion. And that's not too bad, to be perfectly honest with you. Confusion means your opponent has to flip a coin if they want to attack. If tails, the attack fails and they take 30 damage. Now, I see this as an early game attack in Lightning decks. We've seen for a while that Psychic decks have been using Espeon GX, taking advantage of the Energy Evolution Eevee from Sun and Moon. It's turn 1, I've not got any other evolutions going, you know what? I'll pop a Psychic Energy on Eevee, evolve it into Espeon, and then just do 30 in Confusion for 1 energy. Well, I think Xurkitree here does the same thing with the added advantage that it's only a basic Pokemon. So it's that much easier to get it rolling, which I like a lot. The other thing is, of course, let's not forget that Beast Energy is a thing here, because Beast Energy means that you're not actually doing 20 plus Confusion, you're doing 50 plus Confusion. Now, I did a video about Beast Energy the other day. If I remember, I'll pop a link in the description, fingers crossed that I do. It basically acts as a Rainbow Energy for your Ultra Beast Pokemon, but instead of taking 10 damage when you attach it, you deal an extra 30 damage to the active when you have it attached. And of course, I talked about Fighting Fury about earlier with Buzzwole. Well, it can work with Xurkitree here also. 60 damage, single energy, that's enough to KO a bunch of evolving basics like Zorua, for instance. But even 60 damage plus Confusion, that's actually pretty good. Now let's assume it's not a Fighting Fury bout. Now let's whack in a Choice Band instead. Well, with a Choice Band and a Beast Energy, you're now doing 80 damage plus Confusion for a single energy on the first turn of the game. I don't know about you, but I don't find that none too shabby. Now, of course, Beast Energy is once per game. It is a Prism Star energy. It means you can only have one in your deck, and when it gets discarded, it goes into Lost Zone. Okay, fine. Maybe you can't find it on turn 1, and actually there are not good ways to search out special energy. About the best we've got at the moment is Energy Lotto, and shall we say, not particularly something to rely on. But even so, this is pretty nice. 80 damage, even if it's not turn 1, to an EX or a GX plus confusion. Not shabby for a single energy, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, maybe your opponent drops an enhanced hammer and gets rid of beast energy, but even 50 plus confusion is not terrible when you need to buy a turn when you have nothing. This is pretty good. I would not mind using this on turn 1 if I could find my beast energy, and Espeon has shown us for a while now this is a viable strategy. This attack alone makes me want to pop it into decks that are playing things like Rainbow Energy or Lightning Energy or even any Ultra Beast deck that's playing Beast Energy. Why not? Because let's not forget, I wasn't talking about weakness here. Now, I haven't actually mentioned the weakness you're hitting here. Generally, Lightning weakness hits Ho-Oh. That's the main one you're hitting at the moment. And against a Ho-Oh with a Beast Energy and a Choice Band, you're actually hitting 160. Which means if they then flip Tails on Confusion, they will knock themselves out from that 30 damage from Confusion. It's one card in your deck. It's a basic Pokemon. If you're playing Beast Energy, let's say in a Buzzwole deck, I like this as a one-off. If you're playing a Vikavolt deck, more on that in a minute, I like this as a one-off. I think it could be cool. But there is a second attack here. For 2 lightning and 1 colourless energy, 100 damage. But if you've got exactly 3 prize cards remaining, instant paralysis. And if you're thinking, 100 plus paralysis for free energy, it's not that good an attack, is it? Yes, it is that good an attack. It was good enough for Lapras GX to make it into a GX attack. And I mean, it's literally the same attack. 2 coloured and 1 colourless energy on a basic 100 plus automatic paralysis. The only difference is Lapras is once per game, whereas Xurkitree is if you've got 3 prize cards remaining. Now, we saw this with both Dawnwings and Duskmane Necrozma, on whom I've done videos in the past couple of days, so check links to those ones in the description as well. Weirdly, these non-GX Ultra Beasts have attacks that have extra effects if you've got a really specific amount of prize cards remaining, or if your opponent does. So you've got to plan it well. You've got to use it at the right time. But you know what? This does not seem like the hardest one to use at the right time. You got 3 prize cards remaining, 100 damage plus paralysis. Now, your opponent might be able to drop something like an Ace Roller to heal, in which case, fine, you know, that's a good play from them. They've got the right card at the right time. When your opponent has that, there's nothing you can do. Maybe they drop a Guzma to switch. You've still done 100 damage though, so that's fine. And even if you don't have 3 prizes remaining here, you're still doing 100. You're still getting a one-hit KO on something like a Ho-Oh. I mean, the promo Tapu Koko basically does 100 for free energy, by which I mean does exactly 100 for free energy. So you know what? It's still not a bad attack. But some games, just like I said with Dawnwings and Duskmane Necrozma, some games, this is going to present itself at the perfect opportunity. And it's going to win you the game. And it's going to be that thing where your opponent goes, wait, no, but I can't get out of paralysis. Which means you're just getting a cheeky prize here, and there's nothing I can do about it, and you're getting ahead in the prize race, and now I lose. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is where this attack comes in. And it is for free energy, but for Lightning Pokemon, really not that difficult. You could use an Electrode, and then just attach an energy for turn. Okay, you give up a prize, but it might be worth it. You could have an energy on there and use a counter energy. You could use Max Elixir and use a counter energy. Remember, counter energy only if you're behind on prizes. You can use Raikou to accelerate energy, or You can use Vikavolt. Vikavolt Tapu Bulu may well be my favourite deck at the moment. Now, I'm not saying it's the best deck. I'm saying I just absolutely love playing it. So you can use Vikavolt here, attach a lightning and a grass from your deck, and then just attach a lightning from your hand, and you're off ready to go. It's a basic Pokemon that's not that difficult to get going in a single turn. This makes it a really nice surprise attack. And let's not forget Ninja Boy here. You can have a bunch of energy on a Pokemon, basic at least, and Ninja Boy into a Xurkitree. Or use Xurkitree, and then if you don't have 3 prize cards remaining and you don't get the automatic paralysis, Ninja Boy into something else. Or maybe when you're done with Xurkitree, you just drop a Tapu Koko GX, which takes all the energy off and puts it onto itself and switches in the active, and off you go. I like this Xurkitree. I don't think it's a Pokemon that's a deck. I think it's a one-off in certain decks, maybe that play Vikavolt, maybe that play Beast Energy, but I think both attacks could be good in certain situations, in certain matchups. For that reason, I'm giving it a good, solid, between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, because that would, of course, be barbaric. It's a card that you need to keep in mind. It's one that you need to have lying around in your binder just in case, because you might play it in the future. But I think it's slightly better than a free Wossie card, because I see this as it will win some games rather than it could be a fun tech. But you guys might disagree with me, in which case, brilliant. Chuck it down in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, you can do so by going to patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.